Alexander Blake was a popular American science fiction and fantasy author. The brain and the plotters are some of his stories. Let's get into the lesson. This is a fantasy story in which implausible events are accepted as probable and even possible. The beginning introduces the setting, characters, and the suspense that holds our interest in the story. The setting is the home of a scientist on the campus of a lunar launch site. It later moves to the secret launch pad. The situation is quite commonplace, but with an undercurrent of fantasy. Zero hour refers to the specific moment when the explosive rocket was launched from Buffalo Flats to the moon as scheduled. Bobby is the main character, who is as imaginative as any child. The supporting characters are his parents, John and Myra Kendall. Bobby is a child taking a great risk because of his presumption that his father would be going to the moon as the second biggest scientist in Buffalo Flats. He is proud of his father being the second biggest scientist. He knows how to calm his fears to make his parents proud of him. Let's get into the summary. Bobby remembered that it was a big day at his father's workplace, and so he would have had to leave home before Bobby could wake up. Bobby was excited about the project. Bobby had a secret he did not want to share with anyone, and he feared he might talk to his mother about it. Buffalo Flats is a space research center where Bobby's father, John Kendall, is a top scientist. The work done at the center was so confidential that Kendall did not talk about it at home. Bobby thought that he knew some of the secrets that his mother did not know. What are the secrets? The first one. There was a lunar project in which his father was flying to the moon that day. And the second secret is Bobby was planning secretly to smuggle himself into the rocket and fly with his father. Bobby pretended to work on his toy rocket. He wanted to give his mother the impression that he was playing so that he may slip away when she was off guard. Bobby walked confidently down the deserted alley behind Laboratory B towards a round lid in the ground. He had been down the sewer-like tunnel previously and seen wires through hazy lighting, strung in different directions. After he had been peering through the tunnel for many days, one day he saw and overheard his father with another scientist talking about sending the rocket to the moon at 4 that afternoon. That was all he did know for sure. Neither of the men had said who was going on the first trip to the moon, but Bobby knew his father would go for sure. Because father was the second biggest scientist at Buffalo Flats, and the Professor Schemer himself, who was very old and wouldn't make the trip. When he found the secret way of reaching the real rocket, he lost interest in his toy, though he thought it was a good enough replica. Bobby got into the rocket using a ramp to get in. He found himself in a storeroom kind of place with barrels of the same size and sat among them, waiting for the blast off. He felt scared at first, but gathered courage, knowing his father would be going to the moon with him. Here comes the twist. Bobby is inside the rocket thinking that his father will accompany him, right? But John Kendall was little late at that night and he was discussing about the rocket launch. He also added that rocket was launched for the very purpose of fire explosion with a purple dye on the moon for the 4th of July. If it was successful, the scientists had planned to send men into the moon. So they were discussing about the launch and also about Bobby. Meanwhile, John went to Bobby's bedroom to chat with him if he was awake. Bobby was surprised to see his father at home when he thought his father would have gone to moon. When Bobby realized that his father didn't go, he felt glad that he too didn't go either. After hearing this, Bobby's father was asking him, "Oh, you have also planned to go to the moon?" For that, Bobby was replying, "Yes, I got into the rocket and was all set But I got to thinking about mom, how one of us should stay and take care of her in case anything happened. So, after listening to this, Bobby's father was just thinking, children were wonderful. Give them a few old boats and a steering wheel, and they could build a ship to fly to the moon. What a wonderful dream world they lived in. So, Bobby's father was just thinking. He was not talking the truth, he was just in his imagination world. He was thinking that Bobby was in his imagination world. And how the suspense is resolved over here. We all thought that Bobby is inside the rocket and he went. Bobby got out of the rocket because he felt he had to take care of his mother while his father was on his trip to the moon. Bobby knows his responsibility as a son. So here comes the theme of the story. A child's sudden sense of responsibility saves his life. A child's sudden sense of responsibility saves his life. Since this is a fantasy, the third person narrator provides 2 points of view here, the father's and the son's. The reader can accept the logical viewpoint of the adult or the fantastic viewpoint of the child. With this note, I end up this video. Thank you so much for listening.